It's Misfire, and you're listening to the Dan Chan Show.
I've got Sean, Jim, and Jay from Misfire. Hey guys, how's things in the Windy City?
Windy!
Yeah, metal.
Now, the thing is, I learned many years ago that it's not because you get the wind off the lake, it's because you have a lot of politicians that spouted shit, right?
I actually just learned that the other day, but yeah, that is correct.
Really?
Yeah.
So let's get into it. You've just released Sympathy for the Ignorant. Is it good to finally have it out?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a long time coming. We've been sitting on this for a couple of years, due to COVID and stuff. And it's amazing to finally get the songs out and see the reaction. What's going to be even cooler is when we get out and play live. So, it's super killer to read the comments and see the videos come out too. Like it's really cool to sit back and watch the whole thing kind of come together. It's awesome.
Well, I was going to say that because how's the reaction been? And do you find yourself Googling reviews and reactions, or do you try and keep away from it? Obviously you do, but does any of you no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see whether it's good or bad.
I haven't actively sought out comments, but the ones I've seen have been pretty good. I mean, I don't know. We're going to keep on doing what we're doing, whether people love it or hate it, but it definitely is awesome that people love it. It makes us feel good. And it's been good so far.
Listening to it over and over. It's cool. It's good.
It's a great
album.
album.
Just do it over and over. Oh, thank you.
It's a fantastic album. It's everything you want from that, old school thrash sound. It's brilliant. So you said about the pandemic. So I hear this album was a lockdown pandemic baby born out of COVID. Is it because you weren't doing anything else, or was it just like you got that time and that dedicated time to just thrash it out, literally?
Well, that's not really what happened. So we wrote another chunk of songs during COVID, but this chunk of songs was songs that was written in 2019. And these are just songs that we the first songs that we have for this band. Wow. So we had recorded a couple of EPs prior to this with some other songs, and then we recorded this, and we had to sit on it for a while, so we wrote some more songs. And I think we've said that in other interviews maybe, and I think people might have changed it around to where this album is the COVID baby, but it's really our new songs are more of the COVID stuff, being in lockdown. This was just demos that we've had prior to that. The reason that we couldn't put it out is because there's no reason to put out an album if you can't tour. So we had to wait. That's
always the situation that when you record an album and you've got tracks in the bank, they're so old by the time it actually comes to release day, you've moved so far along the line.
Exactly. I'll go back and listen to some of the drum parts that I played, and it's I don't even play the song like this anymore. I gotta study this a little bit because it's evolved playing it so many times since then. You know what I mean? Same thing with guitar solos and sometimes words too.
I actually got better at singing and been able to do shit that I didn't do on my album.
Yeah. Since then, I mean it's been a couple of years since we recorded that stuff. So as players, we've gotten better. Yeah.
That's always the case, isn't it? I'm a drummer myself. I've been in that game where you've released an album and 18 months later it comes out. You're I could have done so much better on that album, but guys, it sounds ace anyway, so it doesn't matter. So when it comes to the writing, what's the process? And with the recording, I hear you don't use click tracks or anything in the studio. I mean, that must cause a headache for that mixing team, right?
Well, it would if the other guys weren't. What if the other guys weren't equally as capable of doing that as me? So we're all jamming just like we do it at rehearsal. So just because we're gonna redo the bass part or redo the guitar part doesn't mean that he can't just go in and hey, yeah, it sounds like Jim playing. I'm just gonna
of course,
because me and this kid have been playing for years together. So it's I can close my eyes and I know that. And same thing with Sean. After playing him with him for the last 3 or 4 years, it's I can close my eyes and know that and so can they, that we're just going to keep going. So it's that when we record, and that's why it's not that difficult for us to lock in with each other, even though there's no click track. We're listening to each other when we play, and that's what makes this band organic. And that's also how the songwriting process is. If someone has an idea and we throw it at each other and we get a hook out of it, and that hook turns into something, and then we got a couple riffs and boom. Okay, so what are we doing for the solo section? Cool. What are we doing for the vocals? And we just kind of attack it, and it gets done however it gets done, and then we record it, and we don't overthink any of it, so that way it's organic. It helps that we don't suck. It definitely helps that we come up with some decent ideas and those ideas stick, but that really is what it is. It's just good ideas that we're throwing at each other, and they turn into our songs. And that's what you're hearing, and that's probably why you like it, because that's why I like it, just because it doesn't sound like bullshit.
That's how we sound like live, like sound
Yeah.
better live, I think. But yeah,
And
I
so,
feel.
so you're writing in a process where you get in a room and thrash it out together.
Yeah, whether or not a couple of riffs have been worked out, like say JR has 2-3 riffs that go together, or say or whoever, great. That makes the songwriting a lot easier. That means that we can all focus on just locking in right away. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes we have to like get a riff and like, hey, what do we do next, and figure it out and jam for a while and put the time in and the work in, and that's also what makes it great,
Yeah.
So, but we never like, once we get the thing, it's the thing. We're not changing it after that. Like some people get stuck like, oh yeah, but there's so many different ways we can do this, and we can change the feel, and we can do, just if it was good the first time, leave it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what themes do you like to write about, and what themes have we got on this album?
Like real life stuff, that we've been through, or like, situations we've seen, or
Could be a hardship or a struggle with that between like individual like of us, like like
it's a lot of relationship type of like problems that like stress and things like that, like internally, and also our views on the world and what's going on. Like there's all kinds of things. It's mostly like the negative stuff in your life, I guess, that we're talking about, because the music wouldn't make sense if we're singing about fairy pixie dust and bullshit.
Right. There's no reason.
So it's like, and it wouldn't sound legit if we weren't speaking from a place that like was real.
Yeah, of course.
So a lot of our lyrics are more personal, or more personal than people would imagine a thrash band allowing themselves to be.
So we know this is old school thrash. Is it easy to craft these tracks?
Because we've been doing this for so long. I'd say yes, but like sometimes we don't write for like a long time, and it gets like, it's like, hey, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden we just shit out 5 songs and everything's okay. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like, oh, hey guys, let's go. Let's like, I don't know. It's just, they come as it's a weird organic natural process, I guess. And I wouldn't look at it as easy or hard.
I
guess
there's like no pressure.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It's just like just getting in the groove, and just getting into that new groove, to that new song. That's what we work on. That way it's like tighter and tighter. And it's just,
and that part I would say is actually easy and fun.
Yeah.
That work part of it. Yeah.
And dare I say organic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not too cliche. Let's go back in history. How did Misfire get together? Tell me about how the band started. And I believe you've known each other for numerous years now, right?
Yep. JR and I have been friends since the 5th grade.
So for us Europeans, how old is 5th grade? At what age is that?
About 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
30.
30. Yeah. I'm 31.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like 20 years of us like knowing each other and playing,
Amazing.
So him and I, when we were kids, before the band Diamond Plate got signed and did all the tours and stuff, we started that band as kids, and it had broken up, and I went off to do that and do the touring and do the couple albums that Diamond Plate did.
Mm-hmm.
And then that band kind of fell apart. A couple years later, myself, Sean, and a different guitar player got Misfire kind of together and called him because we needed a lead guitar player.
Facebook.
Yeah. And I knew that was going to work because me and him had so much chemistry, like when we were kids, and we had, kept in contact in the meantime, especially recently. So it kind of just worked out. And that was the original Misfire. And, Tommy, a couple years ago, decided to change career paths and start working on cars more and do a different style of music, and more power to him. But ultimately, that's the reason that we became this 3-piece thing. And since then, that's worked out, and that's not gonna change anytime soon. That's the kind of the sound of this band.
I suppose a three piece is easy to like manage, isn't it? I mean, I've been in a band I've been in 5, 6, 7 pieces. And I know how hard it is when you're trying to manage each other's egos and, you know, situations. 3 of you is easy, right? Especially if you've known each other for what, 19, 20 years.
I'm glad that it's not another guy or 2 or 3. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, then I've got to ask this question. You know each other pretty well now. What's the one thing that pisses you off about each other? Come on, without an argument.
He's lazy. I'm too controlling, and
I can
Sean's
tell that,
pretty much
mate.
just.
I
Sean's pretty much just good.
I can tell you're too controlling. You're answering everyone's questions.
It's like Spinal Tap. I'm like the lukewarm water between Jay and Jimmy there.
Yeah,
Keeping everybody together.
You're the keystone, mate. You're the
This
keystone.
is the bass, like
That's
balls
it for the rhythm section.
That's right.
So your tracks have some total stink face riffs, right? What do you think is the greatest riff of all time? Just off the bat.
Greatest riff of all time.
Well, just, you know.
So the one that I think of is you know, like
sounds like a French chanson, that does, mate. Doesn't sound like anything metal.
Yeah, that was like I'd say like fucking Off the Battery. Fucking,
yeah, that was I like anything Gary Holt's ever written. Like anything Exodus is like the best riff ever every time.
Of course,
especially the new album. Their new album's ridiculous.
Gary Holt. Gary Holt kept all those. He tried to give them to Slayer, and then Slayer wouldn't have them, so he gave them to Exodus. So you know that's great.
Yeah, well now Exodus is gonna be a new Slayer because that shit fucking rules.
Yeah,
There's like double bass all over that record. It's like fucking amazing.
I know.
Yeah. Best riffs of all. I mean, Painkiller.
Yeah.
Painkiller. That's like just if you want to hear an epic metal song and someone doesn't know metal, that's a song you put on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Symbolic. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So riffs to the stage. So what's happening tour wise? You just said you can't wait to be touring this album. First of all, did you get many shows in during the pandemic? And what's happening right now?
No shows really during the pandemic. Like we've done a couple here and there openers for like because these two guys work at a venue, so we kind of got the hook up, like get in on the show if they need a spot filled.
That's cool.
So we did Overkill and Prong. That was awesome. And we did Cattle Decapitation, but this was like pretty recently. It's like right before the album came out. So I think this is like March and February.
Right.
But no, we just got the news. We just got the news. Smokey Jones, calm down. We got our dog over here. We just got the news that we're doing a Cradle of Filth tour.
I saw that.
From we're gonna leave May 19th, and we're gonna come home June 12th.
Amazing.
So
that's cool.
It's gonna be badass.
We're super excited. This is our first tour for this album, and that's a pretty good way to start.
Amazing. That's awesome. So what can we expect from a Misfire show?
Intense riffage to your face, shredded off. Basically shredded off. Power violence vocals, just fucking like ringing and screaming in your ears from the time you're there till the time we're done playing, till the time you go home. You're gonna hear this shit. It's gonna stick in your head. And power blast, fucking blast beats.
Yeah.
Like, everything tight, this fucking booming bass. Like
your head's gonna explode.
And like a very lively performance. You know, we're not gonna just stand there. We're gonna rock out.
I can see that. I can see that. So have you ever been to Europe?
Well, I've been to the UK, so that doesn't count. No. That is absolutely something that we want to do and plan to do very soon.
Yeah.
We don't have anything confirmed yet, so can't tell you nothing, but you know, it's in the works.
So, I mean, I know the American festivals are quite a funny thing because they have such mix, like they have country with metal with rock on the same weekend kind of thing. Europe has I think, probably the best festivals, right? I mean, what would be the ultimate festival for you to play? What's on the list?
Oh yeah, Wacken Open Air. That's the one I've been watching concerts on YouTube.
Yeah,
since I was a kid.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Any of them would be cool.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, Download would be awesome too. Obviously, it's like one of the biggest ones. I think that'd be freaking huge.
Yeah, I think Wacken is the one though. That's kind of cool. So cool. And Hellfest as well. Hellfest in France is another massive one as well. So, I mean, back to thrash. Best thrash album. No hesitations. One each. Come on, best thrash album.
Rise of Lightning.
Right.
Master of Puppets.
I was going to say Master of Puppets too.
Well, you got to say another one now. He said it.
Raining Blood.
Okay, on the flip side, who's the most underrated thrash band of all time?
I guess maybe Violence or Revocation.
Yeah, I agree with that. Have you, incidentally, did you ever see Murder in the Front Row, the film documentary?
Yeah, super good. There's a book to go along with that too.
Yeah.
A lot of photography that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. So
yeah, I think Harold from DRI did a lot of that stuff. That's a pretty underrated thrash band. I mean, for crossover thrash. I mean, you don't really hear about them too much anymore, and I think they should be pretty further out there.
Yeah.
So maybe DRI. I mean, even though people know who they are, they could be right up there doing stuff right now with I mean, I don't know.
So what new bands are taking your fancy right now? Any new bands out there that you've either played with or you're friends with or you just listen to? Anything new you need to share with us? Especially in the States. There's a lot of bands that don't cross over to the Europe so easily.
Yeah, our buddies in Mulder, they just got signed to Prosthetic. They're a death metal band from the area that I'm super proud of. There's a band called Cryptum who are also our buddies. That they're more like, both of these bands are more death metal. Significantly more death metal than us or any of that. There's a couple good bands. We just saw this band called Bloodletter from Chicago. Beyond Death. Yeah. And then like this other band that's on our label, Plague Years. They're super good. Some of their stuff's pretty fucking heavy and thrashy.
What's the most trouble you've got yourselves in as a band that you can share with us?
Ran like together or separate?
I don't know. Just on a tour or
always you. So.
Some bad shit happened. I don't know. Just tell me if he's not. Don't worry about it. I'll edit it.
So no, yeah. JR got too drunk one time and broke the front door down.
Front door of what?
That night too.
Yeah.
I was so drunk. I was like, dude, I better just run, dude. I'm not gonna get a fucking DUI like that.
He's a big guy. Look at him. He can knock a door down.
He's our special boy.
He's a security. Boy. He's security as well. So, what do you think is something that everyone should try once?
Weed.
Yeah.
I say weed.
Yeah. Anything else?
Listening to our album.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good one.
Weed.
Yeah. With that.
Try bringing a hooker to our album.
Yeah. Describe the band in 3 words. One each. I tell you what, one each. 3 of you, 3 words. Go for it.
Fun.
Fun. Heavy metal thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That's it.
No, intense. That would be my word.
One more.
My word's metal.
You just had fun.
I mean, I'm still sticking to metal. Oh, all right. So fun, intense metal. There you go.
Okay, cool.
Heavy.
Fun, intense metal. What one track sums Misfire up the best? Just one track from your repertoire.
Yeah, actually, he said, she said. I think.
Yeah, that's a great track.
Yeah. War of Mine.
Thanks.
He
said War of Mine.
Yeah.
I would say any of them,
but yeah.
I like it. Okay, finally, can you send a message to your newfound Misfire fans that are listening to this show right now?
Hey, I'm glad you dig our shit. Come see us at a show. That would mean the world to us. Thank you for spending any of the time that you've already spent on this band, because I'm spending all of my time, and so are these guys, and we really appreciate you being a part of this more than you can ever understand. So thank you.
Yeah,
Amazing.
thank you.
Guys, it's been a total pleasure having you on the show. Good luck with everything, and I hope to catch you on the road in Europe at some point.
Yeah, hope to be there sooner than later.
Cool.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.